Hello and welcome to Inside Westwood. I'm your host, John Cummings, and I'm coming to you from the studio at the Westwood Media Center. Inside Westwood is designed to update the Westwood community about what's going on, what just happened, or what's coming up. With so many meetings, it's helpful to have a recap of different projects going on around town. Nora Loughnane, Director of our Community and Economic Development, stopped by to discuss everything from the University Station to the new police headquarters. Happy New Year, Nora, and thank you very much for coming down to our studio again. And how was your New Year's?
Great. Happy to be here. Thank you.
I can't tell you how much we appreciate you coming down and sharing all the knowledge with us. So could you start off with what's new at the University Station?
Yes, so we're still working on Del Frisco's, and it's getting very close. I know we had expected them to open in February. They're looking to open maybe even the end of January, so they're getting as close as they can be, and we're looking forward to having a new restaurant in town.
Yes, we are.
We are. Brigham and Women's Hospital office building is proceeding. They're still on target to open in the fall, hopefully in September, but definitely sometime in fall of 2018. And then the latest is Gables Residential has reached 94% occupancy. So of the 350 apartments there, they're at 94% of those are occupied. They have 33 students so far. So we're expecting them to come in about 35 for that development as a whole, which is still well below what was predicted when the project was approved. There's a new residential development that's being proposed on the other side of the street. It's called the Hawthorne, and it's before the planning board tonight for a special permit hearing. So if anyone's interested in that, it's a 100-unit condominium development. It'll be spread in two 50-unit buildings with parking underneath as well as some visitor parking on the side. And anyone who's interested in hearing about that or has any points that they want the planning board to consider, they should come to the planning board meeting tonight at 7 p.m. at the Downey School. At the Downey tonight? And that's going to be right on University Ave? That is on University Ave between Bridges and the Brigham office building. Oh, so on the train station side of the street. All the way down. Right, so on the other end of the town, where the police station looks like it's wrapping up as we drive by. It is, and they just got the go-ahead today for demolition of the old building, and it should take place, weather permitting, beginning next week, and it's about a 5 or 6 week process to take the building down. Will it deep freeze slow it down? A little bit, but it's been warming up this week, and if that stays on target, I'm sure we won't have 6 weeks of snow-free warm weather. But they should be able to move forward. We're expecting it to be completely down by the end of February, unless we have some incredible stormy weather. And then they'll begin site work to finish up, put a new parking area and landscaped areas in the spring. Oh, I can hardly wait for that to finish up. It'll be beautiful. And how are the roadway projects? We have a few in the works. One is the alterations to the intersection at Clabbertree and Washington Street. That project is going to be bid out this spring. The designs are complete, and they're expecting construction over the summer and fall of 2018. That will add a left turn lane coming down Clabbertree Street going towards Norwood. You'll be able to turn left with a dedicated lane going north on Route 1A, so north on Washington Street up towards Roach Brothers. It should relieve some of the congestion and some of the backed up cars that are waiting to make that left turn. So that commuting rush in the morning by Severian? In the morning and in the afternoon by Severian. Hopefully this will help with that. So we're looking forward to that construction taking place in the summertime, continuing through the end of the year. Then there's a complete streets project that the Department of Public Works is working on High Street and the corner of North Street, and that will involve sidewalk improvements in the area of Blueberry along High Street. So we're looking forward to that one as well. And the other, I guess, roadway construction project is a design project on Gay Street. This was the subject of an article at town meeting, which was approved to fund design for new sidewalk or trail along Gay Street. So there'll be public meetings on that as the designs progress, and we're looking forward to seeing what the ideas are and what can be accomplished to tie the Washington Street and High Street areas of the town together. Those meetings won't be for a month or two? They won't be this month? I would say they would be no sooner than mid-spring. Okay. So the designers will work on initial plans. They'll develop some concept options, and then it'll be brought to the public. So I would say, I'd say later than March. I would say it's probably going to be April, May before we see anything there. But okay. But well, stay tuned, I won't. Yeah, Todd Korchin is working on that, so I don't know the exact details. Yes, he is. And I noticed that the sidewalk snow blower, the new one,
That's just amazing, clearing all the way down by the Hanlon. It was
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah, all the school sidewalks were cleared. And
I wish you'd get the bus stop at Cedar Hill and Gay Street.
Is that still a little bit snowy?
The guy keeps plowing it in. I'm out there with my little snowblower trying to dig them out. Which leads us right into Islington Center. How's that going?
So there's a lot going on in Islington Center. There's a hearing next week, the 16th, January 16th. The Planning Board has a public hearing on the Petruzziello application. That's the Islington Center redevelopment application. Many people have heard about it. It's for a private-public partnership that would involve 4 town-owned parcels and 4 privately owned parcels. And the hearing is scheduled for Tuesday night, the 16th, at the Downey School at 7 o'clock. So I encourage anyone who's interested in that project to come out and speak to the Planning Board about their concerns. So far, the project application calls for a mixed-use building where the ICC, the Islington Community Center, is now. That would have 18 condominium units above retail or some form of commercial use, maybe restaurant. It would also take the building where the CVS currently is, CVS and Crown Cleaners, and it would renovate that building for future commercial use on the first floor with a new basement space accessible from behind the building for MMO.
Oh, nice.
Where they would have brand new facilities designed specifically as a preschool facility, so everything sized accordingly. They're excited about that. And they would maintain the same agreement that they have with the town now for a single-year lease at a very reasonable price, and the developer would continue that arrangement in a brand new building. So
That's fantastic.
a win-win.
Looking up and up every time I drive through Islington
Yes.
with a new fire station and all the buildings on both sides.
It's an exciting project if
Yeah.
we can get everything to all the pieces to fit together. There would also be a brand new CVS building, so CVS will leave the old building, move to a new building on the corner of Washington Street and School Street. The Blue Heart Tavern would be renovated, maintained by the developer, probably for residential use. We're hoping that it would be located close to where it is now on School Street. That'll be discussed by the Planning Board.
Right now, it's just in the parking lot.
It's in the parking lot of the Taylor. So we're hoping it would be that the Taylor shop and the Cafe Diva building would be demolished, and CVS would be up at the corner, and we're hoping there would be room for the Blue Heart Tavern to maintain a place on School Street.
Would they
where
have
it
a drive-through
serves
for
as
that CVS?
There will be no drive-through, so that's been negotiated out of the plans. And the hope is that the Blue Heart Tavern would serve as a great buffer between the commercial portion of the neighborhood and the residential portion. And then the Wentworth Hall, the library building, would be relocated from the side of the street it's on now, on the east side, to the west side. So it would be where the municipal lot is now. We'd have parking behind it and around it. It would be renovated. It would have a brand new community space in the basement and an elevator, so it'd be handicapped accessible.
Oh, nice. And that
So
would still be the library?
It would still be the Islington Branch Library with additional space and a new version of the library, so it would be fully renovated. So that's the plan. There's a lot still to be discussed.
As long as everything lines up, it sounds like a win-win.
I think it would be. I think it would really improve that area and maintain the neighborhood feel with just some nicer, more functional, better accessible buildings.
And all right, so that leads us to the open space recreational plan.
That's
How's
something
that?
we're working on right now. We have an open space recreational planning committee that has met. It met in December and it just met again last week. And they are holding a public visioning session on February 1st. So we're encouraging residents who have interest either in open space or recreation, if they want to talk about our recreation facilities or recreation programs, if they want to talk about purchasing or restricting more open space so it doesn't get developed in town, this is the time for them to come out and have their voices heard. Our last open space and recreation plan was approved in 2000. After the plan is approved, it's sent to the state for further approval, and once we have an approved plan in place, we're eligible for state grants. So it's something we're very excited about. We're working hard to get this plan updated. It's 18 years old now, and it's time to update the plan.
And you just asked everybody for input via the email and also at the town hall?
Right.
How did that come out?
We had a survey that went out. It was open from fall town meeting in November through January 1st. We received over 600 responses.
Wow.
Very interesting information we received from that. The responses will be posted to the website in the next month, and then we're asking people, especially people who didn't complete that survey, who are interested in coming to the visioning session, to come and talk about open space, recreation, any concerns they have. We want to hear from them what they like about our facilities and what they think needs improvement.
All right, so February 1st is your last chance to
It's
weigh
the
in.
next opportunity, the next big opportunity. So the planning process will continue for the next couple of months, but what we hear at the visioning session will absolutely shape the plan going forward.
So if you wanted a sports kind of complex, this would be your...
Now's the time to talk about it.
February 1st is it, or you had your opportunity?
Correct.
And that's going to be February 1st, and where is it?
That will be at the Thurston Middle School at
Ooh.
7 p.m.
Okay.
And everyone is welcome to attend.
I think we've gone all the way through town. Now, is there anything else that the viewers might be interested in?
There's nothing else that comes to mind right now, but I'm happy to answer any questions that people have. So if you hear about anything, let me know, and I'll be here next time.
So if the audience has any questions they want, they can email us here at the Westwood Media Center. You could always email Nora, and we'll be setting up a web page for the Inside Westwood very shortly. Well, Nora, thank you very much for coming down. That was very informative, and thank you for being so busy.
Thank you for having me.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Inside Westwood. Be sure and check out our interactive community calendar on our homepage at westwoodmediacenter.tv. The link for the calendar is at the top. All you have to do is click the tab, and you're there. Thank you, and Godspeed.